Today on Judge Faith, ex-friends battle over the cost to repair a used car that was accidentally backed off a trailer.
I have so much riding on this. Without my car, I will not have a job in Georgia.
She said, I have the 300, but I want y'all to put my bumper on and put a new radiator in my car.
You say, ma'am, they further damaged your car and he should be responsible for that, so you refuse to pay him, and so we're in a standoff now.
And later, former roommates from Virginia discover the hard way what happens when you rely on promises to pay the bills.
He told me, he didn't tell the leasing company. I was left to basically find other people via Craigslist or any other means to replace.
I was under like a friendship agreement that, hey, we've been holding it down for a year. You gonna keep going?
A friendship agreement does not trump a lease. You do understand that, right?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Audrey Gay says the defendants damaged her car while loading it onto a trailer for repairs. She's suing for the return of a car or value of the car. Defendant Matthew Allen says he doesn't owe because the damage to the car was minimal and wasn't his fault. He's countersuing for services rendered. He's accompanied in court today via Skype by co-defendant Brandon Walker.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Gay versus Allen and Walker.
Thank you, Juan. Audrey Gay,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are suing the defendants Matthew Allen
Yes, Your Honor.
and Brandon Walker, who is here with us by Skype. Can you hear me, Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor, I can.
You are suing the defendants for $1,500, the return of a car or the value of a car you say they worked on.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the defendants are countersuing for $385 for payment for services rendered. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll start with you, Miss Gay. What kind of car is it, the car in question?
The car is a 1992 Honda Accord.
Okay, tell me what's going on here. How do you know the defendants?
Well, Your Honor, I've known Matthew well over 13 years. My godparents is his aunt and uncle.
Okay.
That's why it's so shocking that we're here today. Earlier this year, around February, I had contacted Matthew. Matthew has a used car sale business, and I had contacted him because I was in the market for a car. At the time, Matthew did not have any cars available for me. So
A used car salesman doesn't have any cars? When does that happen?
No, Your Honor, what it is she told me, she asked me, did I have a car available for her that was $1,200 cash?
Oh, okay,
And I told her-
$1,200 car. You didn't have any $1,200
No, ma'am, I
cars.
told her I didn't
Okay,
have that.
okay, so do you work at a dealership?
I got my own dealership.
Your own dealership,
Yeah.
okay.
I ended up going to my aunt. I had an aunt that she had the Honda, so she ended up selling me her car
For how much?
for $1,500.
And there are some issues with the car, and that's where the defendants come in and they're working on the car.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
So I had an issue to where my engine ended up blowing. I did not put oil in the engine. Being a woman, I didn't check.
So the engine is blown. You need someone to work on it. Why do you contact Matthew? He sells cars. Because you think you know someone who works on cars?
I actually he know a mechanic. Matthew said, yeah, I know a mechanic.
And that's where Mr. Walker comes
And
in.
that's where Brandon comes in.
Mr. Walker, are you a mechanic, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
And you had a conversation with the plaintiff about replacing the engine in her car?
I talked to her and we actually told her it'd be $625 to repair the car.
And Mr. Walker was supposed to come and pick up the car?
Mr. Walker did come and pick up the car, literally.
Okay, what happened?
I'm relocating to Georgia. I have a job that starts in Georgia. I even told Mr. Walker, I have so much riding on this. Without my car, I will not have a job in Georgia.
Tell me what happened, ma'am.
So, he came to pick up the car. I'm getting two different stories because I was not at home.
You weren't there.
I was not at home at this
Mr.
time.
Walker, what happened when you went to pick up the car, sir?
When I went to pick up the car, I brought my trailer. I parked across the street over at the Shelby Shopper building. Her husband and her nephew come up, and he handed me the Honda key, and he handed me $240 cash. I walked across the road. We got in the car. We jumped the car off. The car was able to run, but it had a real loud knocking noise. Well, we got the car across the road. We lined it up with the ramps. me and the husband, we pushed the car backwards. The nephew's inside the car, steering the car. Well, the car has a low passenger front tire. Whenever we was getting ready to push, the husband tells the nephew, do not touch nothing. The nephew lets go of the steering wheel. The car starts going to the right slowly. Well, by that time, it was too late to say anything, and the nephew runs the car off the side of the ramps, and it smacks the side of my trailer. Well,
Okay.
he takes off with the front bumper and puts a small dent inside of the radiator.
The bumper fell off?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see photos of the car on the ramp. Okay, so that's after it's loaded on the ramp. And that's the bumper.
That's the radiator support right there where it's dented.
So now you have the car, you've repaired the engine, and you have not been paid the remainder of the $385 you say you're owed. Because you say, ma'am, that they further damaged your car and he should be responsible for that, so you refuse to pay him. And so we're in a standoff now. He has the car, he hasn't returned the car to you, and you haven't paid him, and that's why we're here in court.
Your Honor, I have asked him multiple times to bring the car. I told him I will give you it was $325. It was never supposed to be $385.
He has a completely different story, because why would he turn down $385? What's your reason, sir, for turning down $385?
Your Honor, whenever she called me and Matthew both, she told us she only had $200 and that she was getting ready to move to Georgia. She wanted to take the car from us, go get a lien on it, and then pay us the rest of the money. Well, Your Honor, when somebody tells you they're moving to Georgia and you let them take the car to Georgia, then you're out of the rest of your money.
And
So
I told him not to do it. I
believe him. I believe his testimony.
Can I please-
Did you tell him you were going to get a lien on the car? You were going to Georgia?
No, I did not.
Okay, you know what, Miss Gay? I'm having a hard time
Your Honor,
believing it. I don't think they're making that
right
up.
here.
That
Tell
say
him
what?
That says I have your money.
And did she ever tell you, I have your money?
Every
I want you
single
to
time.
bring the car?
she told me that I talked to her later on. You can see in the messages where I said, call me and we will talk. Well, she called and we talked. She said she only had 300 of it the next time we talked to her. And we told her, no, you got to have the remainder.
What do you say about this, Mr. Allen?
And she told him the 300. When I called her and talked to her, she said, I have the 300, but I want y'all to put my bumper on and put a new radiator in my car.
Okay, so now,
That's what she
I
told
think that's
me.
a fair point, because Mr. Walker, why do you rely on the nephew to drive the car? That's the most important part, right? Driving it up, being able to direct it. Why do you rely on the 18-year-old nephew to do that?
Coming up, more details are revealed about the money standoff.
First, she said that she only had $200. Then she wanted us to let her go get that title loan on the car. And we told her we're not going to do that.
And later, ex-roommates argue over which one of them is responsible.
609698.
Plaintiff Audrey Gay says the defendants are refusing to let her assess the damage they caused to her vehicle. She's suing for the return of a car or value of the car. Defendants Matthew Allen and Brandon Walker say they don't know because the requested repairs were completed. They're countersuing for services rendered.
Your Honor, the husband told the nephew to get in the car. I asked the husband, I said, no, I don't want him to run it off the side of the trailer. I don't want to cause no damage to this car.
Where's your husband?
He's at work. But, Your Honor, he just sat here and told you that my husband gave him the keys and the money. If he felt that way, then why would he then turn the key over to my nephew? He had the key in his possession.
The husband took it back from me and gave it to the nephew to crank the car whenever I was trying to jump the car.
Is the car fixed? Is the car fixed now? Is the car repaired? The engine is repaired?
The car is repaired. I actually, me and Matthew come to the agreement with her that we would fix the bumper on the car, and that would be all
You have
we did.
pictures of it.
And the bumper has been repaired?
You have pictures of the car.
I asked him to meet. I have text messages where I asked him to meet me at the police station. I asked for him to meet me at a mechanic so that I could pay for this car.
So, Mr. Allen, you say that's not true? That she wasn't offering to pay the full amount? That's what
No,
you're saying?
she was
offered
never offering to pay the full
Your
amount.
Honor, in
She
the
said
text
if we
messages,
put,
it says, I have your
When
money.
she sat up and told me, she said that she only had $200. Then she wanted us to let her go get that title loan on the car, and we told her we're not going to do that.
Your Honor,
And
it's
then she
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Well, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to resolve it today. This is simple. Pay them the remaining balance for the car, and you get the car back.
But what happens, Your Honor, with the damages that he did to
So
my
that's
car?
why we're here. Let's talk about why we're here.
Okay.
Here's what we're going to do, because that's really why we're here. Because if you really wanted to pay them the money for the car, you'd have done it by now, and you'd have the car back.
To me, Your Honor.
Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. Because you think there's further damage to your car now. You think they caused damage to your car.
I know they did.
Okay, you don't know that because you don't have the car back to assess it. You haven't seen the car.
Because they wouldn't bring it to me, Your Honor, and that's why.
Mr. Allen, Mr. Walker, here's what I'm ordering the two of you to do. You have 48 hours once the plaintiff has paid you the remainder of the $385 that's owed on the car. You have 48 hours to return the vehicle to the plaintiff. You, ma'am, this is what you have to do. There are two issues in every lawsuit. There's the issue of liability, there's the issue of damages. You believe they're liable for further damages to your car. How much are they liable for? That is the question that I can't answer. That is the question that you can't answer. I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to come up with a number. My job is to decide a case based on the evidence and based on damages that you can prove to me. You cannot prove damages because you don't have the car back. You have not been able to take the car to get examined by another professional, by another mechanic. That is what I need. If you believe they're liable for further damages, get an estimate, file a lawsuit, bring it to court, prove those damages, and then you will get a judgment for damages. But for now, this is my verdict. We're always interested in what you have to say about our cases. Write us with your thoughts or comments. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, or my Instagram. I look forward to hearing from you.